Stop using church intimidation, controlling manipulation. Jezebel and all them spirits fall back, not trying to hear it. Go with Jesus, walk in peace. On your pew can sit that beast that we're fighting in the world. I'm that JC Supergirl, Jesus Christ, belt of truth, arm of God, I'm slaying you. Power of the word, two-edged sword. MC Heaven rocks for her Lord. Thought they crept in unaware, didn't see the gatekeeper standing right there. Not getting down with your tactics, undoctrinal practice.
Shalom, everybody. Barakatha. I greet you all in the name of Ahaya Bahashem Yeshaya Warak Kwadash. Welcome again to the Crystal Jones Show. This is the show that is all about life's balance. Want to say to all of our wonderful women, happy Women's History Month. God bless us. We are the one that bring life into this world. So God bless all of you women. Today we are going to celebrate Miss Cicely Tyson. Though she is no longer here with us in person, she was born December 19th of 1924 in New York, but she has left us as of January 28th of last year. She was one of my favorite female actors. Many of you can remember her in the movie Sounder. Okay, she was an American actress in a career which spanned more than 7 decades. She became known for her portrayal of strong Black women. And she did. Every movie she played a very strong Black woman, which we definitely needed then. And we need those figures. We need those people now to portray us as strong women. And I loved her. I loved her in that movie Sounder. That was out when I was a little kid. So this is how far back this woman goes. She played the wife of a man who, in other words, during that time, they were in the South, and we have basically not too long come out of slavery. And so they would, our people were living on these farms and whatnot and barely making it. And so her husband winded up going, getting busted, going to jail because he was stealing meat for his family. Because when we came off of the plantations, as wise as these people think they are, they had no plan for us. They just said, okay, y'all are free. They were supposed to give us the 40 acres and a mule, never did. And so we were just left to the heavens, just like when they asked Dr. King, oh, Dr. King, how come it is that the Black people can't seem to get it together? So Dr. King said, well, excuse me, how are you going to tell people to pull themselves up by their bootstraps and they have nothing? They don't have a bootstrap or anything like that. You all brought your European people over here to this country and you gave them things when they got here, just like they're doing now and going to start doing now. When they start bringing over people from these other countries, these war-torn countries, they're going to give them things that they don't give us. And it was going on back then. So Dr. King told them, you gave these people, money and support and stuff like that. But we worked here for free. And when we were so-called freed, you didn't give us anything. So for you to say, pull yourself up from your bootstraps, you're leaving us out to the heavens with nothing, right? If they're so smart, how come they don't think about that, right? So, she, in this movie, this is what was going on. There was no money for us, okay? And they still, like they do now, they weren't paying our people that any real money or anything like that. So Cicely Tyson was in the movie Sounder, her husband that went to jail and whatnot. And so she had to let her young boys be strong. and to work the farm and whatnot while her husband was away. So finally, somehow her husband was able to, get out of jail, because at that time they had him on like a chain gang and all that kind of stuff, just working the land again for free. So see, these people's mindsets are always that we're supposed to do for them for free, but they're not supposed to do right by us, right? So she played in movies like that would bring to you the agenda for Black people, which was never anything right. So Cicely Tyson, I love that woman because she brought it to the light how we were portrayed, but how we really were. We had to be the backbone for our families because so many things happened to break up our families. I often tell you about how they did the buck breaking to our people. On Sundays, they would announce they're going to pick an N-word and they would buck break our men. And if you know what buck breaking is, that means they would either have one of these weird slave masters would have sex with our men in front of everybody. And they would announce this nonsense in their churches. They would say, we're going to have a pick a what day. And they would either have these creepy slave masters have sex with our men in front of everybody too. That's what buck breaking is, to break them down and embarrass them and shame them, right? Or they would make the men have sex with their mothers or their sisters, in front of everybody. They were they were invested on shaming our people. So when you see us today, you see a lot of confusion and stuff like that, and that comes from decades of stuff like that happening to our people, and that stuff spills over to different generations, because that brings a confusion to a people that normally we didn't do that when we were back in Africa. That wasn't it wasn't accepted, because as much as they say they taught us Christianity, no, they did not. Because I read to you last week from the book of Acts who the first Christians were. They were Niger, Black. They were Black people. In the book of Acts, the 13th chapter, you can read it for yourself. We were the first Christians, because why? We were in North Africa, and they would have you to believe through this Renaissance garbage that they tried to, pretend like they came up with some all of a sudden Christianity, but that was to work it out so that we would believe that Christ was this white man with this blonde hair and blue eyes and all of this other crap. But no, he was not. He was a Black man from North Africa. All right. And we are those 12 tribes that lived there. Okay. But they did a couple of replacement theories on us while we were there, where they replaced us with other people. All right. And the same thing as that you're seeing now is about to happen. Don't think that the groups of people that they're bringing over now, they want them to replace us. You're going to see that come into a neighborhood near you soon. Watch what I tell you. That's what's going to happen, because they're no longer going to want to give us, pay our salaries or our retirement. So when they get these new people over here, and some of them are already here from these two different things that have happened, I keep telling y'all, pay attention. And white people too are going to realize that they've been duped as well. All right. So there's not going to be any more white privilege. Watch. Okay. Because these different groups that are coming over here, they're going to contract them out for jobs so that they don't have to pay their health insurance or their retirement or anything like that. So now you see a lot of people retiring so they can get their monies. All right. Because soon they are going to replace all of this working class so that they don't have to pay out that much money, so that they could continue to line their pockets. And guess who's going to be on the bottom? of everything, as always, is the people that built this place are the Black people. This is why a lot of our people now are starting our own businesses and all of this type of thing, because we need to. We need to be more independent, stop depending on these people, because believe me, they got a lot of stuff going on that is not in our favor. All right, so thank God for Cicely. Subscribe to my channel every Saturday. You can watch me on bronxnet.org, channel 951 and 2137, the Inspire channel, okay? So also check me out on Facebook and on YouTube. Go to my YouTube page. Please subscribe, share my videos, put the like on them. Thank you all. I've got some more. I got new members on my channel. Thank you all. I really appreciate every last one of you. But I need you to share. Keep sharing so that we can really work the channel and whatnot. And eventually we'll be able to do things with that channel, you know, with doing live streams and stuff like that. So, you know, share. All right. Also, you can check me out on Instagram at the Crystal Jones Show. Go on there and see the daily scriptures, encouragement scriptures that I put on there. And also check me out at HebrewConnect.tv. All right. So the scripture of the day, we're going to go back again because this is covering what we've been talking about, Esau and Jacob. We're in our 11th week of Esau and Jacob. So we're going to go again to Romans, the 9th chapter, the 10th through the 11th verse. All right. So, and not only this, but when Rebekah also had conceived by one, even by our father Isaac, for the children being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil, that the purpose of God according to election might stand, not of works, but of him that calleth. So God calls who he will. Even though Esau and Jacob were brothers, God had chose Jacob in the womb, right? He knew Esau. God knows us before we even get here. He's spoken to our spirit in heaven before he sent us down into our mother's womb. He knew us. He knew whether we would do good or evil or whatever. He knew. So thank the Lord if you're on the right side. If you're chosen and the Lord has blessed you, whether you're Jew or Gentile, if you've been chosen by the Lord, be thankful, right? So that's the scripture of the day. Now, in today's news, I'm going to move on to the politicians looking for votes. All right. We have people that are running for office and stuff like that. There are elections that are coming up. I'm noticing that these people are going to local churches. Please, 12 tribes, stop being duped by these people. Stop it. They're going to these churches, talking to you all, talking a good game, but they're not coming with no checks. 12 tribes, we want to see our reparations check. If you want my vote, you better come with that check. I don't want to hear no garbage. I don't want to hear that you put Miss Black America in as a new judge. I don't know. I don't care who you put in office, because you should have been doing it. If you brought us over here and if you'd have done right, if you'd have shared the wealth, we'd have all been doing the right. You know, if you really would have, if this nation would have really been founded on the principles of the Bible, we wouldn't even have to go through this nonsense. Okay. So you got these two parties that basically run the country. And from what I'm seeing, it's the same devil on both sides. Both sides are not in our favor. 12 tribes. You know who you are. 12 tribes, right? I tell you every week who you are, right? You know who you are. Wake up and smell the coffee. When they come to your churches or place of worship, which they should not be doing, in my opinion, politics and religion really don't mix. It's not supposed to. Okay, that's a whole different atmosphere going on. Okay, but you got these politicians that are coming and talking to your congregation and all of this without any checks. We need money in our communities. They sending billions of dollars over to war countries that are at war. There are many countries that are at war, all right? But all of a sudden, you know, they're sending all this money over to these other nations and done sent several checks over there. But when it comes to us, all of a sudden they ain't got no money. We ain't got no money. You sending money over there, but yet when I ride the bus down Fifth Avenue day after day, I see people sleeping on the steps of these big churches on Fifth Avenue. Okay, all right, with sleeping bags. Okay, they have nowhere to live. No, they don't want to go to those roach rat infested places that y'all have for them, telling them to go. Oh, well, why don't you go to a shelter? No, they don't want to go there and get raped. No, they don't want to go there and get beat down. No. All right. These people and people that are homeless, don't think just because they're homeless that they are no good people. A lot of them got PhDs and all kind of things. Okay. But because they playing this game that, oh, there's jobs. Oh, yeah, job everywhere. Oh, yeah. And the jobs don't even be paying that kind of money. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of these people are out of jobs for many different reasons. Okay. So how dare you send money to other places and you can't even help your own people that have built this country alongside of other people. I'm not saying just the 12 tribes, but we were the backbone of building this country. Okay. So some of our people are out there, but now some of your people is out there too, if you know what I mean, because I'm seeing more of their people on the street every day. Every day I'm seeing more of their people out there asking for food and everything. All right. So they're going to start seeing that they are not creme de la creme. They're not better than anybody. If anything, what they do is more wicked than anybody else. Because if you have that status, you should be trying to help other people. And if you're not, you're no good. Don't come to my church, because we ain't gonna give you a chance to lie to us. So I'm just saying to our people, watch these politicians looking for votes. Tell them you want a check. That's what you want. Not to buy a car, nothing like that, but we need our own schools, our own hospitals, our own everything. Because if you see how these schools are going, the crazy things that they've been teaching these kids. Recently, they had some weird thing that they were teaching these kids about these sexual perversion things. And finally somebody told, and they called them out and fired, told them, listen, you better quit or we're going to fire you. They teaching your kids all kind of weird sexual stuff, just like doggone Sodom and Gomorrah. All right. So we don't want that. All right. We want, and who's telling these schools to teach sexual anything? Leave that to the parents. The only thing those teachers should be teaching is the ABCs, the 1, 2, 3s, economics. Don't nobody tell you to tell kids about sexual activities. These people are a bunch of freaks. All right. So no, we need money in our own communities so we can do our own thing. You didn't want to be a part of us and all of that. You too good. So guess what? We want to be with our own people, and we want to be able to thrive and whatever, like everybody else. You owe us the money, but yet you have money to send to other countries. Get out of my face. Don't come to me about nothing. You come with that. You come with that money. That's what you tell them. Where's the check for us? All right. Okay. So now the other thing I want to let our people know is, let's invest into our own people. Buy Black stocks. There are a lot of different Black companies now that are up and coming, banks and stuff like that. That's the other thing. We need to get more banks going. And we coming up with different banks. So I want you to see this video on the different companies we have, And so when you do your stocks and stuff like that, invest into Black stocks. Let's take a look at this video.
We get down to the beat, y'all. We get down to the beat, y'all.
Hello and welcome back. In this original Black Excellence presentation, we will highlight 10 Black-owned publicly traded companies.
Welcome to blackexcellence.com, the site where we share Black excellence, opulence, and affluence. Our mission is to inspire you as we enlighten you.
It is no doubt that Black Americans have historically experienced inequality in business and across the board here in the United States. But through hard work and dedication, a growing percentage of the Black population have begun to prosper into success. Starting and maintaining a successful business is extremely challenging for anyone, but especially as a Black person. And now Black businesses and entrepreneurs are struggling to keep the doors open during a pandemic. This is due in part because most of U.S. Black-owned small businesses are highly concentrated in retail, restaurants, and other service industries most affected by shutdowns and social distancing. But we are here to celebrate the survivors. Here is a list of Black-owned companies that have been approved by the Securities and Exchange, or the SEC, and have become publicly traded companies that you can purchase stock in. In this original Black Excellence presentation, we will highlight the 10 Black-owned publicly traded companies. So without further ado, let's get started. Number 1. Carver Federal Savings Bank. Carver Bancorp is the holding company for Carver Federal Savings Bank, a federally chartered savings bank. Founded by a group of community leaders and small business owners in 1948, Carver offers consumer and business banking products and services to traditionally underserved African American communities. Today, Carver is the largest bank for African Americans, and the bank continues to help low to moderate income, and their headquarters is branched in Harlem, New York. The U.S. Treasury Department has designated the bank as a community development financial institution due to its dedication to serving those who otherwise would be locked out of the financial system. Number 2. RLJ Lodging Trust. One of the most successful companies on this list is RLJ Lodging Trust, a real estate investment trust with a portfolio consisting of 103 hotels across 23 states and the District of Columbia. Founder of BET, Robert L. Johnson, and Thomas J. Baltimore Jr. founded the company in 2000 as a portfolio of premium branded, focused service, and compact full-service hotels. And it started public trading in 2011. Today, the company's portfolio includes several well-known brands, such as Courtyard by Marriott, Residence Inn by Marriott, Hilton Garden Inn, Homewood Suites by Hilton, Embassy Suites by Hilton, Hyatt Place, and Wyndham. Number 3. Urban One. Urban One Inc. is a multimedia company which engages in the radio broadcasting operation that targets African American and urban listeners. It operates through the following segments: radio broadcasting, Reach Media, digital, and cable television. The radio broadcasting segment includes all the broadcasting-related operations. The digital segment focuses on its online business, including the operations of Interactive One. The cable television segment deals with TV One's operations. The company was founded by Catherine L. Hughes in 1980 and is headquartered in Silver Spring, Maryland. Number 4. Mechanics and Farmer. Founded in 1907, Mechanics and Farmer Bank is the second oldest minority-owned bank in the United States at 103 years old. Mechanics and Farmer Bank is the 9th largest minority-owned financial institution, offering banking services, which include checking accounts, savings accounts, money market accounts, CDs, individual retirement accounts, mortgage loans, business loans, and more. The company was founded in 1907 and is headquartered in Durham, North Carolina. Number 5. Global Blood Therapeutics. Global Blood Therapeutics is a biopharmaceutical company that helps transform the treatment of the rare condition of sickle cell disease. GBT medicine is the first treatment of sickle cell disease approved by the FDA. They are dedicated to the discovery, development, and delivery of life-changing treatments that provide hope to underserved patient communities. In addition, GBT's drug discovery teams are working on new targets to develop the next generation of treatments for sickle cell disease. The company was founded in February 2011 and is headquartered in San Francisco, California. Number 6. City First Bank. City First Bank merged with Broadway Federal Bank to become the largest Black-led minority depository institution in the nation, with over $1 billion in total assets. Broadway Federal Bank is the last remaining traditionally Black community-oriented bank, headquartered west of Dallas. It offers savings and loan products mainly to the African American, Hispanic, and other communities of Mid-City and South Los Angeles, California. Broadway Federal Bank is a community-focused bank founded in 1946 and based in Los Angeles. Number 7. Ping Identity. Founded by Andre Durand in 2002, Ping Identity Holding specializes in a wide variety of digital and online identity protection services through its trademarked Ping Intelligent Identity platform. Its solutions include Customer 360, Unified Customer Profile, Workforce 360, and Adaptive Access Security. Ping Identity Holding has an impressive clientele, which includes 5 of the top North American retailers, 7 of the largest healthcare companies, and 13 of the largest U.S. banks. The company was founded by Andre Durand in 2002 and is headquartered in Denver, Colorado. Number 8. Citizens Trust Bank. Citizens Bancshares Corp. is a bank holding company of Citizens Trust Bank, which engages in the provision of full range of commercial and personal banking products and financial solutions. The bank offers a range of commercial and consumer deposit accounts, including checking accounts, IRAs, CDs, and savings accounts. Citizens Bancshares engages in a range of lending activities, including consumer installment loans, mortgage loans, home equity lines of credit, and construction loans and commercial loans. The company was founded in 1972 and is headquartered in Atlanta, Georgia. Number 9. American Shared Hospital Services. The company provides turnkey technology solutions for advanced radiosurgical and radiation therapy services. American Shared Hospital Services is a provider of stereotactic radiosurgery equipment and advanced radiation therapy and related equipment. The company provides gamma knife stereotactic radiosurgery, a non-invasive procedure which is an alternative to conventional brain surgery and/or radiation therapy. It can be an adjunct to conventional brain surgery, radiation therapy, or chemotherapy. The gamma knife treats selected malignant and benign brain tumors and functional disorders, including facial pain. Number 10. Light Media. Light Media Holdings, Inc. provides inspirational media content products, technology, and services through audio, video, print, and internet platforms worldwide. It owns 88 web domains and distributes audio and video content, as well as sells internet advertising through its network of websites. The company also owns and operates an FM radio station, Power 105.5 The King in Albany, Georgia. The company was formerly known as Christian Media Holdings, Inc. and changed its name to Light Media Holdings. Light Media was founded in 1997 and is based in Albany, Georgia.
We appreciate the fact that you stayed with us until.
All right. So you see, we could start, we could invest in our own companies. Let's start, when we doing the stocks and all of that kind of stuff, let's, make our portfolio black. Okay. So that I wanted to share that with you all, that we are there on the stock market. We need to start investing, and buying stocks in those companies. All right. There are other companies as well, but that's a listing of 10 of them. All right. So the next thing we're going to go to is our missing youth. All right. The first person we have today is Essence Hardy. Okay, she's been missing since January 26th of 2022 this year. So she is from Staten Island, New York. She's 14 years old. She's a Black female. Her hair color is black. Her eye color is brown. She's the height of 5'3". She weighs about 91 pounds. All right. So if you see her or you know of her disappearance, please, y'all, please get in touch with missingkids.org and the local police department. All right. We need to get these young people back home to their family members. All right. Also, the next person we have is Jaleesa Middleton. All right. She's been missing since January 19th of this year, 2022. She's missing from New York, New York. She's 15 years old. She's a Black female. Her hair color is black. Her eye color is brown. She's about 5'5", and she weighs about 160 pounds. Please, if you know about her disappearance or you've seen her, report it to missingkids.org, to your also to your local police. All right, let's take this serious, y'all, because they're doing a lot of things with these kids. They're doing all kind of child sacrifice and crazy stuff that these people do to kill these kids and sacrifice them to the devil. And also they're doing different things like selling their body parts, and because they want our organs. I told you all, as much as they say they hate us and stuff, they want they want to be us. They want to sell our body parts and whatnot and all of that. Crazy. So, and a lot of these children are being sold into sex trafficking. So we could stop that, get a grip on that. If they've already, something has already happened, still, at least we can get ahead of it and get them out of it. So please, y'all, pray for them, but also be on the lookout for these predators that are, doing things to these kids. So look for these kids and please report them missing. All right. So now we're going to go to our health and wellness segment. The weather's getting nice, so plan more outdoor walks as the weather gets warmer. Most of us live near like a track or a walkway or something like that. I'm going to start doing it myself in my neighborhood. Get out there on that walkway and start walking around. Just walk around, a couple of times and just breathe and exercise. And, we need to get out there and get some air because we've been cooped up forever with, this pandemic. So, we need to get out and get some fresh air in our lungs and whatnot and breathe. Do it with the family. Get the family to get everybody, or your friends, your neighbors, somebody you can, walk with. Do that, All right. The next thing is we're going to hit our business tips. Go to events that you normally wouldn't. Because those are the type of events, I'm telling you. I remember I was invited to an authors conference one year. A friend of mine invited me. And I was saying, well, why would she want me to come to an authors conference? Because I'm not an author, I don't write books. So she was like, yeah, but just come because, you'll meet a lot of people and they could be guests on your show. Duh, right? So, and for 3 years, people from that conference kept coming as guests on my show. And I went to that conference for years up until the pandemic. So, and matter of fact, I was a keynote speaker at some of those conferences, So, go to the events that you normally wouldn't. If somebody invite you to some type of conference and you're like, that's not me. I'm in media or whatever. It is you. We have to think outside the box is what I'm saying. Actually, think outside the box. All right. Okay. So now we're down to our credo. Shema Yasharala Ahaya Alahaya Nawa Ahaya Echad. All right. Hear, O Israel, the Lord is our God. The Lord, our God, he is one. Deuteronomy, the 6th chapter and the 4th verse. Now we're going to get into our lesson again. We back to Esau and Jacob. Boy, what a family they had, right? With their uncle Laban, who's stirring up trouble now because he still wanted to keep Jacob around. Jacob had married his daughters. He only wanted one of the daughters, and Laban fooled him and made him marry the oldest daughter. And, that became a mess. And between them two, that is, because Laban didn't want him to ever leave, but God had promised, Jacob to go back to the land, which he promised our ancestors, Abraham and Isaac, that Canaan was ours, which is Israel, right? So then you see that, they tried to cause trouble for him and saying that when Jacob left that he was stealing and all of this kind of garbage. And then the word got back to Esau, and then Esau wanted to try some stuff with his son that was a little thug, going after his uncle Jacob and all of that kind of nonsense, right? So now we're going to go to Jasher, the 31st chapter and the 69th verse. So it says, and Laban's messengers departed from Esau and went to the land of Canaan. And they came to the house of Rebekah, the mother of Jacob and Esau, right? So now Laban, his messengers, they trying to stir up more trouble for poor Jacob, right? So they come to the house of Rebekah, and she's the mother of Jacob and Esau, right? And they told her, saying, behold, thy son Esau has gone against his brother Jacob with 400 men, for he heard that he was coming, and he is going to make war with him and to smite him to take all that he has. So now Esau is not happy enough that early on he sent his little thug son to steal everything Jacob had before Jacob went to see Laban. And so now he knows that Jacob has made a name for himself, and he has, riches and stuff like that. So Esau wants to steal his riches because he feels like Jacob stole from him the birthright, right? But you see that God had chose Jacob way before they were even born, when they were in the womb, right? Now, and plus Esau, he's a liar, so he sold his birthright to his brother anyway, but he wants to, pretend like he don't know this, right? So Rebekah hastened and sent 72 men from the servants of Isaac to meet Jacob on the road. For she said, peradventure, Esau may make war in the road when he meets him. So now Rebekah, oh Lord, poor woman. She has had to try to put out the fires for their fights since they were kids, right? So Rebekah hastens, she sends 72 men, and these messengers went on the road to meet Jacob, and they met him on the road of the brook on the opposite side of the brook of Jabbok. And Jacob said, when he saw them, this camp is destined to me from God. And Jacob called the name of that place Macnaim. And Jacob knew all his father's people, and he kissed them and embraced them and came with them. And Jacob asked them concerning his father and mother, and they said, oh, they're well. Because now Jacob is thinking, did something happen to my parents? That their servants are coming to me. What's going on? Right? And these messengers said unto Jacob, Rebekah, thy mother, has sent us to thee, saying, I have heard, my son, that thy brother Esau has gone forth against thee on the road with men from the children of Seir, the Horite, right? Now, Mount Seir is the place where Esau, when he betrayed us and started doing, he started being with the people who are partially mixed up with Nephilim seed and whatnot, right? So this is the beginning of him starting to go into the other nations that were against the Lord. They weren't for the Lord, and eventually they winded up, being with the Europeans and stuff like that, right? Therefore, my son, hearken to my voice and see with thy counsel what thou wilt do. And when he cometh up to thee, supplicate him, and do not speak rashly to him, and give him a present from what thou possessest and from what God has favored thee with. So the mother's saying, make peace with him, give him a gift, just calm him down. You know how he is. He's hating on you and all of that. So just be peaceful like God would want us to be, right? And when he asketh thee concerning thy affairs, conceal nothing from him. Perhaps he may turn from his anger against thee, and thou wilt thereby save thy soul, thou and all belonging to thee, for it is thy duty to honor him. for he is the elder brother, right? So Esau, even though they're twins, Esau came out first and then Jacob. So the mother's saying, okay, he's the older brother. So, in other words, she wants him to suck up to him, right? And when Jacob heard the words of his mother, which the messengers had spoken to him, Jacob lifted up his voice and wept bitterly and did as his mother then commanded him. So he's crying. He's got to eat his ego and all of that. And even though Jacob really wasn't a warring man, so he's probably sick and tired of this bully, right? Which is his brother. So now we go into the 32nd chapter of the book of Jasher and the first verse. And at that time, Jacob sent messengers to his brother Esau toward the land of Seir, and he spoke to him words of supplication. So now Jacob is doing like his mother said. He's trying to make peace and all of that, right? And he commanded them, saying, thus shall ye say to my lord, to Esau, thus saith thy servant Jacob, let not my lord imagine that my father's blessing with which he did bless me has proved beneficial to me. For I have been these 20 years with Laban, and he deceived me and changed my wages 10 times, as it has all been already told unto my Lord. So he's saying, Esau, listen, you're thinking that I had it easy, because I have the blessing. You sold me your birthright, and you thinking that, I'm a billionaire. I've done well, but I had a lot of trouble because our uncle Laban, I was there working for him, but he changed my wages several times. So Laban is not really that honest, right? And so he changed his wages, about 10 times. And so Jacob says, and I served him in his house very laboriously, like he worked really hard. And God afterwards saw my affliction, my labor, and the work of my hands. And he caused me to find grace and favor in his sight. And I afterward, through God's great mercy and kindness, acquired oxen and asses and cattle and men servants and maid servants, which Laban agreed to. Because he told him, he said, listen, I'm going to be getting out of here. I'm going to bounce. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to take your cattle and have them mate. And whichever ones are spotted or whatever, they're going to be mine. And the rest of the other ones will be yours. So it would be fair. It would be even. Right? But of course, sometimes people don't want you to have nothing. They want to have all the blessing. Right? And afterward, through God's great mercy and kindness, I acquired oxen and asses and cattle and men servants and maid servants. And now I am coming to my land and my home, to my father and my mother, who are in the land of Canaan, which was Israel. And I have sent to let my Lord know all this in order to find favor in the sight of my Lord, so that he may not imagine that I have of myself obtained wealth, or that the blessing with which my father blessed me has benefited me, meaning I fought and struggled to get what I have. All right. And those messengers went to Esau, Mr. Jealous, and found him on the borders of the land of Edom, where the Edomites are. All right. Going toward Jacob, and 400 men of the children of Seir, the Horite, were standing with drawn swords. So in the meantime, Esau is waiting on Jacob, right? With 400 men of the children of Seir, because these people, Seir the Horite, right, was standing with drawn swords. And the Edomites, all of these people who are not very godly people. And the messengers of Jacob told Esau all the words that Jacob had spoken to them concerning Esau. And Esau answered them with pride and contempt, and said unto them, surely I have heard, and truly it has been told unto me, what Jacob has done to Laban, who exalted him in his house, and gave him his daughters for wives, and begat sons and daughters, and abundantly increased in wealth and riches in Laban's house through his means. And when he saw that his wealth was abundant and his riches great, he fled with all belonging to him. So now he's being nasty and saying, no, Jacob, you did wrong because Laban was good to you, right? not listening to what his brother had told him, that no, this man changed my wages several times, tricked me and all of this. Remember, he tricked him into marrying both the daughters and all this other garbage, right? So he says, and he led Laban's daughters away from the face of their father as captives, taken by the sword, without telling him of it. But he had been telling Laban, I'm getting out. I'm going to be gone because I got to go back to the land of my father. This is where I'm supposed to be. Laban wasn't Jacob's father. Come on now, right? And not only to Laban has Jacob done this, but also unto me, as he's done twice, supplanted me. And shall I be silent? So Esau's again lying that Jacob tricked him, which he really didn't trick him, because he sold him his birthright. All right. And then when their father was lying sick, the mother knew that Esau wasn't going to be honest. So, she had Jacob put on the clothing and whatnot and pretend that he was Esau. Remember that? Wow. And so Isaac winded up giving the blessing to Jacob, thinking he was Esau, right? Even though God had given Jacob the blessing from the beginning anyway. They really didn't even have to go through all this nonsense, right? So, but God allowed it. Now, therefore, I have this day come with my camps to meet him, and I will do unto him according to the desire of my heart. Like, I'm a beat him down. I don't want to hear this story. I'm gonna beat my brother down because he tricked me. So I'm ready. I'm ready for him. And the messengers returned and came to Jacob and said unto him, we came to your brother Esau. We told him all your words. And he answered and said this, behold, he cometh to meet thee with 400 men. Like, he say he gonna beat you down. Now then, know and see what thou shalt do, and pray before God to deliver thee from him. You better pray, brother Jacob. You better pray that the Lord deliver you from this fool, right? And when he heard the words of his brother, which he had spoken to the messengers of Jacob, Jacob was greatly afraid and he was distressed. And Jacob prayed to the Lord his God and said, O Lord God of my fathers, Abraham and Isaac, thou didst say unto me when I went away from my father's house, saying, I am the Lord thy God of thy father Abraham and the God of Isaac. Unto thee do I give this land and thy seed after thee, and I will make thy seed as the stars of heaven. So the Lord promised this to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. They are our patriarchs. So Jacob is reminding the Lord, I'm in trouble, Lord, but you said something else. What is this, right? He said, I will make thy seed as the stars of heaven, and thou shalt spread forth to the four sides of heaven. That's what we've done. We're the 12 tribes. We are the sons. We're children from the sons of Jacob, from all those areas that I tell you about every week. Australia, the American Indians, the Cherokee, the Seminoles, all of these, Colombia, Brazil, and all of those different places, the Isles of Hawaii, the Fijis, all of those places that I've told you about, Vietnam and Cambodia, all these different places, the Philippines, we just, because we were spread abroad now, of course we look different, but we still the same people. We from the same family, y'all. That's why we got to come together. All right. Don't pay attention to how we look. We are one. We are brothers and sisters. We're cousins, because our forefathers were brothers. So we're cousins. All right. So he said, you'll spread forth to the four sides of heaven. The Lord foresaw that one day we would be in captivity again. And when we left, even before we left Israel, when they did the switcheroo on us 700 years before Christ, that's the Edomite conversion, when they converted and started pretending that they were the Jews. That's how that originally started. But then you have the Khazars that later in 70 AD, once we left the land for good, then they started their plot and plan. And then eventually they made that place, a place of their own, the Edomites, as you see today, right? That's the Edomite conversion agenda, but it started in 721 BC, right? 700 years before Christ. If you read it in Obadiah, the first chapter, the first through the sixth verse. If I got a minute, I'm gonna try to. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm gonna try. I want y'all to notice that there was a conversion that happened. All right. So if we go to Obadiah, the first chapter, I didn't put that up. I'm sorry. But Obadiah, the first chapter, the first through the sixth verse, the vision of Obadiah, thus saith the Lord God concerning Edom. Edom is Esau. All right. We have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye and let us rise up against her in battle. Right. This is concerning Edom. God is against the Edomite agenda. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. God made those people small among the heathen. As much as they keep saying that they outnumber us, they don't. It's just that when what they do is, if they decide this year the Filipinos are going to be considered white, they will put on their birth certificate white. And I don't care what nation you're from, they will pretend that you are white. They will give you white privileges. But if you don't know your history, you don't know that you are black and you're an Israelite. You're from the 12 tribes, because I have people that work in medical that people I know that tell me sometimes they're told, and have been told for years, to sign birth certificates of people who are jet black. But because they're from a particular nation, they want them to be known as being white. Just like white people who come from Africa, who live in Africa, they don't come from Africa, but they live in Africa. They could come to the United States, and on their passport, they can have African American. Now, they ain't African. White people are not no African people, but they call themselves Afrikaners and all of this stuff, right? They're European. So it's the switching. They always tell these lies so that they can seem like the most people, but they're really the fewest, because most of the people on the earth are black. All right. We come in different shades, but most people on the earth are black. Don't let them fool you. Right. Just come from different nations and stuff like that. Even the people that are not of the 12 tribes, you have other countries and nations of people that are people of color. They are black people. I don't care what they try to say and all of that. No. Right. So, behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee. Thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock. Right? That's what they're always doing. Dwelling in the clefts of the rock. Right? Watching, waiting, looking to see what we're doing, how they can bring us down, how they can make us still the last on the totem pole, and all of that kind of stuff. That's what they do. They sit and watch us. They're always concerned with what we're doing. Oh, what are the people of color doing? Okay, well, let's try this out on them. Okay, well, let's try that out on them. Let's see how dumb they are this year. That kind of, because the pride of their heart, they are so proud in their heart. The pride of their heart have deceived them. Thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rocks, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars. Who sets their self among the stars in space? Get what I'm talking about? Now everybody got to go to space. Who is that? Who is that group of people that has to set themselves among the stars? They can't get it together down here. They can't rule justly down here. But you want to go to another planet? Give me a break, right? Thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord. So the Lord is letting you know he's going to bring them down from all of these exalted things that they're doing, or they think they're doing, because this is the same agenda like when they built the Tower of Babel. The Lord brought that thing down. He made the 70 angels come down and confuse the languages, right? That's why we got languages that are based off of 70 angels that came and confounded the language, because before that, the earth was of one language. It was Hebrew. It was of one language. All right. And then the Lord brought that down because they were building that tower, saying that they was going to go up there and set up idol gods in heaven, and they were going to take God out. That's another teaching that I'm going to do at another time. Oh yeah, the Tower of Babel goes more further than what they tell you. All right. So he said, if thieves came to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? Would they not have stolen till they had enough? If the great gatherers came to thee, would they not leave some grapes? Right? How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? Right? So you know that they have this crafty way of doing things, that they are not going to leave nothing for nobody else behind. They make you think, oh, I'm coming into your neighborhood, and they shake your hand and they say, oh, okay, well, what we're going to do is this. We're going to let somebody be a candidate from your group of people, right? But they never write you a check or nothing like that. They never leave nothing for you. But to make it look like they're on your side, this is what they do. Oh, we're doing something over here. But no, they're really doing something over here, keeping you down, keeping you in check, where they can look from the cleft of the rocks and see what it is that you're doing, so they can keep you on the bottom. All right. And they're even doing that to their own people. Like I said, their people waking up. They starting to wake up now. You see them people on these other platforms. They're telling you that they know that they're being lied to. All right. So thank you all for joining in again with the Crystal Jones Show. I love that you all, come every week and, see what we're doing. So continue to do your reading, study it out, because a lot is going on, and a lot is going to start going on here too. Okay, so we got to be on point so that we're ready for whatever's going to happen, because eventually this place can't last like this. It really can't. So tune in again to the Crystal Jones Show. Like I said, on Saturdays, you can watch me from 7 to 8 p.m. on bronxnet.org, channel 951 and 2137, the Inspired channel. Also, please like, share, all right, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And also check me out on the Facebook page, the Crystal Jones TV Show. Also, my Instagram, go to the daily word that I put out on there for encouraging words from the Lord in the Bible. And check me out on HebrewConnect.tv. All right, God bless you. God keep you is my prayer. Kwam Yasharala Kwam. All right, we are soon going to see the Lord, because he will return to the earth, and great will be his return.
Stop using church intimidation, control and manipulation. Jezebel and all them spirits, fall back, not trying to hear it. Go with Jesus, walk in peace. On your pew can sit that beast that we're fighting in the world. I'm that JC Supergirl, Jesus Christ, belt of truth, arm of God, I'm slaying you. Power of the word, two-edged sword. MC Heaven rocks for her Lord. Thought they crept in unaware, didn't see